Yeah, because all of their picks right now, all 4, do nothing against a shortcut.
Yeah.
Export is actually great to just, okay, you're gonna shortcut on me?
Or are low.
Yeah. They either get utility, tanky, or damage. The remaining damage choices, of course, Lembot, who's still open.
Oh no, you still need the jungler, you're right.
Yeah.
XP is already Phobius, which is again why it's so early.
Yeah.
This Phobius is just, it's throwing him off.
Yeah, it's either Lembot, Xborg. I'm leaning towards Xborg for some reason. I don't know why.
Export jungle?
Yeah. Come on, give it to me, Falcons. Oh, whoa. Did not expect that.
You hear the crowd just go,
That is
whoa.
an odd response. Yeah, no, the MPL arena
Everyone was like, whoa.
was just sullen.
Yeah.
Don't you guys
in
have mobile
shock.
phones? If you know the meme, that's the response it elicited. Don't y'all have mobile phones?
It was a low tone, but there was an audible huh from the crowd just now.
Hey! Hey! This is all gonna blow up in our faces if it works.
Yeah,
Yes.
they have a good lineup rating. Leaning towards them. Kyle is not going to be an easy target to take down. But you are playing through a Kaja and a Phobius as your main frontliner when you're going up against Chip, Lapu, and Fredrin and Freya. Usually the math is telling us that the Phobius and the Kaja is gonna struggle here.
And we already got duped by Uranus today.
Yeah.
And just flat out womp womp.
We had high hopes for KarlTzy to close off that series earlier against Liquid, but you know what? It's in the jungle now.
Yeah.
The last time I blasted a Uranus jungle, it was on the world stage, and Liquid fell.
Yeah, Liquid fell to alter ego. That's right. We have to acknowledge that this Uranus in this lineup now is just pure utility and wanting to retreat. There is a substantial amount of crowd control for Falcons. They got Focusing Mark, PYT, Inspire for Ogun, so they're maximizing the cooldown reduction on the Kaja to get the ultimate as fast as possible, to get the ring out as much as possible as well.
You got Terrify, Dark Wave.
Exactly, which means that Super Marco does have the crowd control he needs during team fights to be able to be free. And that's what was lacking on the side of AP.Bren earlier, which was crowd control. But now Falcons has a lot of it, but are they prepared for the chip shortcut?
Yo, the way it looks, Falcons are not fighting. They're just asserting themselves.
Yeah. Magic damage focused mid-trio.
That's fine for now.
Cal's doing good, yeah.
But later on, it feels like that might not quite be enough.
Yeah, dude, there's a huge gap between the Uranus and the Fred.
Yeah, no, he's just literally, again, asserting himself. Just the sheer chunkiness
Big
and
guy.
slow roll damage output is working.
Just walking in on out
Stolen!
there.
Grab the purple in your face!
My God!
Highway robber with no masks!
Yeah, it's working out well for them.
Give me your lunch money in front of the teacher!
Yue doesn't have enough damage. Or doesn't remember his parents' own phone number.
Oh, God!
That's insane. So Bennyqt literally just walk around.
And he has no older brother.
He did not do much in the last few seconds. The last 30 seconds, Bennyqt just literally walked around.
No kills, no real fights breaking out, and Falcons have a 500 gold lead. That's palpable. They go straight for the turtle, and Aurora can't even think of contesting.
No answer because your jungler is just way behind.
This is literally and figuratively one of the Uranus games of all time, and it's only been 2 minutes.
Okay, all right.
We see it now. We see it now,
Free
Falcons.
turtle take, and Falcons force a retreat out of Edward, sending him underneath tier 1, and they continue the ransacking of Aurora's jungle.
Opens level 4. Light is far from that, so there's a divine judgment for this Kaja available.
And no shortcut.
No shortcut.
Man, this is big right now. The control that's being given by Falcon all across the map. And you know what? While all that's happening, Super Marco's like, thank you so much.
Flap.
Make sure they don't look at my lane.
Flickers on out from underneath, sure death, under that Appraiser's Wrath. Where's the response? Still no kills, by the way, 3 minutes in.
Yeah, kills, but just a lot of steal of jungle.
Resource management.
Oh!
Yeah, almost a 400 gold lead for Kyle's Uranus right now, actually.
And again, Super Marco just loves everything happening right now.
Oh.
Falcon's going on the invade.
Edward trying to cut through that flank. There's a consecration from Kyle. They jump on. take down Edward, and they're not done. They continue forward. Light taking a lot of damage. Yue from the right side. Kyle put those edges on one. They take out DemonKite. They're trying to take down Light. They cross through, juggling damage from the turret.
Oh my god!
Oh, what the hell?
To take it. A lot of damage, and he goes through one of the Y-Walk portals.
Yeah. Hey, it's working. If RORA can't do anything early on against his Falcons composition.
Approaching 2,000 up.
Yeah, this is a blood retribution too on this Uranus. It's not flame, it's not ice.
It's damage.
It's damage, it's pure
Insane.
damage.
That is not what how expected this game to, this early game to actually pan out.
Yeah.
But right now, goal difference does feel like it is showing. Despite, again, only 2 kills on the board.
I am vexed by this occurrence.
It looks like it's because Yue just doesn't have enough damage early on to be a nuisance to this this trio.
Doctor, is the early diagnosis they get through the rough time?
Yeah.
What if they get items on Yue?
That's the thing. It's if we're seeing the early game domination of this Kaja Valentina Uranus, what happens then once RORA has items?
Like that, like a glowing wand.
Right there.
And even also items in the presence for Domeng, who will be able to join this. But then, yeah, they're playing careful because of the Divine Judgment.
Okay. There's the traction pulse thrown out. Turtle at a 10 to himself. Light through the back line. Trying to compromise one of the members of Falcons. Hadji gets taken down. They pop him. Flap here jumping on a DemonKite. DemonKite takes him out. Domeng with the Valkyrie's Descent. Light gets dismantled like Super Marco. Yue firing away. Super Marco does not have enough damage to stop Domeng, and Oakland is going to get taken down. Domeng finds him.
Yeah, the items are really making their mark now. A big difference from what we saw in the team fights earlier.
Yeah, Falcons were able to bully the jungle early on, but then it just reaches a certain point. So that's why we couldn't see the early game vision, because we were already thinking about everyone level 4, early game items, 5v5. It's tough for Falcons to fight. It's tough for Hadji especially.
Woo! Hadji goes underneath, knows how to use it. Edward wins it. But there's going to be an eventual trade here as Flap tries to finish what Edward started. So 2-on-1, but still a 1-for-1.
Yeah, bottom lane is going to get pushed out here. Oh, but a pull.
Chip is there.
Oh, DomengKite. Valkyrie Descent away. Light takes a face full of light wheels as he goes down. Can Ogun chase him? All right, DomengKite's fine.
He was forced to trade it out. He could just committed the stun and the sacrifice himself so that his gold laner gets away. Good counter there.
That's a 2-0 for Super Marco right there.
Yeah, carry still, though we also have to watch out for that. So as much as we're talking about this scenario being good for RORA, full 5v5, items on the board, this time again, compared to the carry earlier by AP.Bren on the hands of Shizo through an EXP lane Uranus, this jungle Uranus is built around the composition that has a bunch of crowd control through EXP, mid, and roam, so that Super Marco has the crowd control and space he needs to deal damage.
They're working well so far, right? It feels like if you can slow down DemonKite, that's also great. The question is later on, like free item Freya. That's my big question. What are you gonna do about that? Like, how does the fight start, and who starts it eventually? Like those are the things that have to be answered here by Falcons. They need to be able to answer a rampaging DomengKite who is getting into position right now.
He has this big wall in front of him, and of course Falcons blitzing this turtle. Soft reset. Traction pulse around by Yue already. Light checking that Y brush. No one present. DomengKite threatening this push. Are you going to trade it for the turtle? In comes Light. Shortcut through. Kyle secures. The rest of RORA come on through. And they put so much pressure on DemonKite. Kyle gets the kill. And another one jumps in. Super Marco takes down Light. Aurora have gotten scattered throughout this fight, pushing into the bottom lane tier 1. Yue fighting for his life alongside Edward, and Falcons claw down and take out 4 members. No one falls on their side. 3,000 gold up.
We set it up before that fight. Falcons and the tools that they have to allow Super Marco to shine. The fight got split up, but Falcons in the front line, Flap got to hold, Kyle got to hold, which meant that Ogun and Hadji had space to help Super Marco to then eventually rejoin the fight. Look at that big fight split. Flap and Kyle go after DemonKite. DomengKite will be fighting under here, but then eventually he'll be forced back. Kyle is just a wall you need to get back and away from. And eventually, the rest of Falcons join in, converges 5 under the turret, and take down Edward and Yue.
So that's basically how they plan to deal with DomengKite. Isolate him, split him from the pack, and be able to deal with him the way that They know how.
And it's not even an automatic, I see Domeng, I have to hit the DJ. It's actually more of a deterrent. Like, okay, you get too close, we will hit you with the DJ. And that's how bad it is. Oh, Flap jumps on in, forcing a defensive Valkyrie's descent, and Flap flickers to the right. Ogun looking for one.
He's jumping in
with an infernal pursuit. A shortcut calling in Edward. Calling in Demon. And look at the right side. Edward pushing Marco away. Tier 1 up top gets pushed, but Kyle is in the middle of 4 members. It's a little too much even for Yue to survive. Concentration, flicker forward from Yue. Kyle's still alive, but only for so much longer. Yue gets a stack on his Sky Piercer.
What are these fights happening here? Breaking out non-stop. I feel like it is Falcons trying to take advantage of Aurora basically being discombobulated, but at the same time, they did it a little bit way too deep.
Yeah, MVP Edward in that last fight, locking on to Super Marco, which forced away Hadji and Super Marco.
All right,
no
sign
Kyle.
of life from Aurora, no retribution. They blitz, the Lord, Flap takes it down one, but they trade for two. Domeng and Demon now light falls, and one more, Edward goes. 4 for the Lord.
They're even
I don't
better.
know if that's worth it.
I absolutely feel like it's not worth it. Now it's 4 down. UL alone. Didn't we just see this a few games ago or last game?
Yeah, from out of nowhere, Falcons with a sudden turnaround. I thought that was the end of that as Edward got another massive land shaker. But their sustainability, the damage, again, space provided for Marco. And RORA just crumbled slowly. Let's revisit that. Watching Yue and Marco. Knocked up from the Lord. Demon got taken out. Domeng decides to go straight for the back, but he got taken away real quickly because the Divine Judgment from Ogun was saved for the Freya.
Beautiful. They didn't even start the fight with it. They left the DJ very, very late.
Again, a last-minute deterrent in case the rest of the frontliners could not hold it. All for Marco. And Marco has yet to die. 4-0-5. Look at his full arsenal here. Up by about 500 gold away from Domeng's Freya. We thought it would have crumbled. We thought that by the time RORA built items, Falcons would have folded with this, again, arguably cheesy lineup. But so far, they're making it work well into the 11-minute mark.
Yeah, I think the key here is keeping Super Marco alive.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's just by intention or by design.
Oh!
Look at this, though.
Divine Judgment on the light! Gets the call in, the shortcut. In comes the rest of Aurora, and they clash onto the backline, forcing back Domeng. Edward
split
falls.
up.
They take down the portal. You ain't going nowhere. 2 for free. Go over to the Falcons.
Okay, it's perfect because I have to correct myself from the last one. The suppress actually landed onto Edward in the previous Lord. It was the Terrify from Hadji as the Valentina that stopped the Freya from being able to just slice through to Super Marco. And yet again in the sequence just now, we see the big ticket value of the Terrifies from the Valentina through the Shadow Strikes.
You're right. And maybe I think they got terrified at the same time. So all of it just happened in tandem.
Yeah.
And why it looked like they got Divine Judgment.
Yeah, and look at the KDAs of Hadji, Ogun, and Marco. This just goes to stress up the point that we said of how Falcons fight. It's Kyle and Flap versus the rest of RORA, while Hadji, Ogun, and Marco are playing together. The KDAs, kill participation, all very similar and close to one another.
They're not even overthinking it. They're just dealing with whoever's up on front. And they're basically just saving the crowd controls for last.
At the 12-minute mark, it's as if we were still back in the 2-minute mark. They took the orange right in front of Aurora. And there's still this gap once again. Earlier it was like a 1-level gap, which is again almost insignificant. But now we're back to a 3-level gap between Kyle and Demon.
And that's going to make a mark, especially with this one. Next Lord coming up in 10 minutes,
Huge.
10 seconds rather.
The retribution between level 12 and 15?
That's huge.
Forget about it.
Yeah, not to mention you also have like just really massive crowd control that's stopping you from using that retribution in the first place.
Yeah, and Falcons just need to keep their formations set. Don't collapse too much. Domeng opening up top for Aurora. It will send back 2 members of Falcons, it looks like. They're worried because there's no more shielding in the turret. They send back Flap.
Oh, Lord, this is the point of no return. Retribution by Kyle. It's good. Ogun very low. Gets a Divine Judgment. Light falls. Shortcut has already been pressed, though, as Edward flickers forward. Oh, there is an anticipatory flicker from Hadji as well. Dodges it. It's just a dash. Demon gets taken down here. Double kill for Super Marco as Yue has Kyle on him. In comes Hadji. Finally uses the flicker, and the damage has been done. It's too little too late. A Lord and 3 kills. The Falcons in the arena know that the killing blow could be here. Domeng has a hope and a dream to push in. He might actually get this.
Yeah, is someone gonna recall? Oh.
Oh boy, oh boy.
They're not recalling just yet. They're not recalling just yet. And Domeng didn't go back. He's clearing.
He's gonna try to take it.
They're sending flat back. Edward is back. Demoncat in 4.
Okay, base race as the Lord is still alive.
Light!
They're already in the base. Light through the back line. There's a DJ. There's a Valkyrie's descent. Ogun gets popped here. Damage from Super Marco. Down goes Hadji. Ogun backing out. Edward takes out Super Marco. Flap and the rest of them are falling. Flap pushes in. Kyle's still alive. And in comes Kyle. In comes Flap. They're still checking range. Domeng with a shutdown. 3 for 1. RORA still alive.
The light at the end of the tunnel was there, but it went well for RORA. From out of nowhere, it was the chip, the turnaround, with a shortcut, with the blitz, the stun, massive flank by Light.
Oh my god, in wrestling terms, that's a literal clothesline out of nowhere, bro. You don't expect that to happen, and when it does, it is massive, straight in Super Marco's face.
And they layered all their crowd control. The taunt also stopped Hadji from getting out. What a defense by RORA. Falcons did not expect Light to come out from that angle.
Light committed the flicker to get in that position.
Yeah.
That was so good.
So there was a lot of resources spent to do that, to close this gap, but just the same, it's a miracle that Aurora is still in this.
It is. You know what the amazing thing is? What they're doing is they are targeting Light right now. The Divine Judgment, the last 2, have actually been solely focused on this chip. And I think that is key, is slowing down Light, slowing down the big brains, the guy who's making the moves.
Yeah.
Is actually gimping Aurora.
Yeah, we have to look at the mid lane though. All towers still up for Falcons. But it's at that point of the game where one big win in the team fight for Aurora and that mid lane is not going to matter. They're going to push either through the side, through any of the sides. As Falcons now, we are seeing the strength of their lineup as 5 and how difficult it is to manage the map as 4 and 1.
That's the problem. If you're talking about just the map, Aurora still has life. And that's why they're dodging where Falcons fights. And now that's why Falcons are flushing out these brushes. They actually want to break into a fight out of nowhere.
Yeah, these engages from Falcons might get trickier and trickier to execute. Now that RORA feels like they're aware of the game plan, it feels like they've already shown the cards, and now they can kind of formulate the way out of it.
Which is not such a bad place to be in if you're an Aurora fan. Because the map is on your side. It's literally everywhere. It's like your skin. It's your biggest body part.
Yeah, speaking of RORA fans, man, this is the loudest.
That's scientific, by the way.
Yeah, it is.
That's right.
In a pop quiz, if you get asked, like, what's the biggest organ? It's your skin.
It is. As I was saying, like, this is the loudest crowd I've ever seen in season so far.
Yeah. This game is cerebral.
It is. See here the back and forth.
All right.
Between the two. Full 5-man. Does Falcons have enough resources to help handle the map as Domeng is still threatening bot?
Marco showing.
He's doing that and he can show up through the chip portal. Hadji holding L left bush mid. Demonqt and Kyle holding the Lords.
Okay. So Domeng has made himself visible. Falcons know what's up, yet still they seem to be clear about their intentions. We want to get this Lord first. Again, the struggle of defending against this map-centric lineup.
Where's Light, though? That's a big question for Falcons right now.
Yeah.
He hasn't really shown in the last few minutes.
Soft reset.
That chip can really come out of nowhere. Even if they decide to try and blitz down Domeng.
Open with the conceal.
They're concealed.
Hits that Cyclone Eye, and they totally miss it. Domeng went the other way, sir. They went the other way.
Domeng was very aware there.
Lord here. Down under half health. Demon holding it. Soft reset. Edward and Flap. Just playing footsies here.
Jumping in.
Got check. And Domeng keeping that bottom lane pressure. And oh my god, the blitz from Falcons.
It's too
Where
fast.
did it come from? Falcons are going to get away with this. Falcons secure off of Hadji. And now Light comes in. Closes the flicker. Down goes Demon. One man off from RORA. And the rest of them collapse. Valkyrie's descent coming through. Down goes Marco. Yuma gets the kill. Traded off for, still alive. All 4 members. Light
Hadji
goes down. Hadji dealing a lot of damage. Down goes Domeng. 3 for 1 the trade. Ogun's immortality popped. Flap jumped onto Edward. There's still a Lord coming through in mid. Yue is very low. Kyle is chasing him down. Yue far away from home.
This might be it.
Might just run it through mid.
Edward. He's still here. He's still trying to keep him at bay. He's holding on, but only for long.
Recalled, and they're dealing a lot of damage between Yue and Edward. Edward gonna get his immortality popped here. Hadji has stolen away a bravest fighter. Winter Crown freezing.
Demon-Kite
still alive. Demon-Kite is alive, and the Lord at a fourth of its health.
Oh, they can defend.
Aurora might still be alive here. They don't have a basic attacker. Falcons have to back off.
I love this game.
Edward with the item juggle, the emo, the Winter Crown, anything to buy time for Demon-Kite and the rest of RORA to come back, but Falcons are not letting go because Marco is back.
No time to celebrate just yet, as Light looks for an angle, using that flying cloud, trying to find that flank. This is a free reposition.
Here we go
again.
in the back.
Who's he looking for?
Ooh.
Falcons are up to his shenanigans.
They found
Light,
him.
where are you going? 5 Falcons are hunting through the skies. They know he's here. They sense him. And he goes through one walk. Off to the long side of the map, coast to coast.
Oh, what a game! What a game!
Man.
What is this game if not entertaining?
This is absolute cinema right here.
The macro management, handling of the team fights. Look how much tough boots Falcons has. Because of all the crowd control. They even had to put, I mean, the BFB's been there for a while now for the Uranus so that they just have a little bit more crowd control, time reduction. Marco is locked in, but you see when RORA go for the full collapse, even with the Wind of Nature, even with this flicker, there's so much gap closing from RORA. So Hadji has actually been secretly clutch in the past big team fights because of his selection of the ultimate that he's gonna steal. Him cosplaying as a Lapu-Lapu is actually working out, giving and providing the damage that they lack if Marco goes down earlier, Marco gets too pressured. So it's up to the KDA machine to keep himself alive.
And KDA Machine's also doing very well toe-to-toe against Edward, who have actually been, you know, facing each other over and over again so far, even individually. And now there's just RORA, who seem to be back against the ropes.
Truth be told, RORA should not have survived that last defense.
That's
they had a Lord stolen from underneath them and got 4-for-1 traded on.
Yeah.
This game should have been over, but still they're here, and I think this last Lord, if they somehow find a way to stop Falcons from doing that same maneuver, they should be back in the game.
That's just a champion's mojo if that happens.
My next suggestion for Hadji is, even though the Lapu-Lapu cosplay is impactful, he might need to cosplay now as the Kimmy to provide the basic attack if Super Marco's down.
They need more damage.
Yeah, Falcons could not end the last one because Super Marco was down. They didn't have the basic attack that they needed.
This is basically a reset or a repeat of exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Domeng on the bottom. Is it going to go differently
Watch
though?
Light, watch Light. He's the key here. He's the only one who can
conceal
actually equalize
Edward.
this. Ogwyn with a conceal. Edward able to sniff that out. Lord gets soft reset. The dance continues.
But Domeng's on the bottom side. He's actually having a lot of fun. They're forcing some backs from Falcons.
Marco and Hadji, are they feigning the recall? Hadji actually does commit. There's the traction pulse thrown out. Kyle holding it down.
They burst.
That's Hadji answering back. Lord here at a tenth of its health. Kyle and Demon-Kite holding on to this retribution. Who's gonna get it? In collapses all of the teams now. Kyle gets it secure off of the shortcut. RORA come through. Super Marco getting pressured here by Domeng-Kite, and Domeng-Kite finds him, pocket immortality. Super Marco comes through. That might have been it. RORA have thrown all that they could over at Super Marco. Demon-Kite on him. Look at the back line. Hadji getting out of damage on Edward. Hadji chasing Light. The Lord through mid. Demon-Kite may have gone in too deep. They pop his immortality, and they'll take him down in short notice. Flap takes him 1 for none, plus the Lord.
Aurora are down one member. Hadji kept Yue away from that last fight, hence why RORA was lacking damage. Here's Hadji with a chip ult.
And now, Domeng-Kite defensive use of the Valkyries. The set Lord still alive. Divine Judgment on Edward. Down goes the Lapu-Lapu. 3 defenders left. Marco's here. The base is under attack. Falcons are here, taking the series 2-1.
Using their own curveball against them, against all odds, it's Team Falcons taking the victory.